Welcome back to Markets Last Week, guys. And today's 29th of July 2023, and I'm joined by Fakir and Scalp again. If you want the introduction, just check out the Markets Last Week video from previous week. So I think that is it for the introduction. And today we are going to cover the last week markets as well as we are going to try and talk about the demerger in Reliance and ITC. That is, if the time permits. We do not want to just go overboard with the time. And let us know how you feel about this in the comments. Let us know what more topics you want us to cover. Let us know what interests you and what does not, so that we'll try and cover things that can help you as listeners. So we start. This is where the Thursday of last week, I mean the last to last week, was where we saw a high of something over 19,990, and we were all very enthusiastic about seeing a 20k very soon. But the Friday was a disappointment, and the same disappointment continued the entire week. Overall, if we look at the markets this week, I think,
Also,
yep, Fakir.
good boy, just to add, we kind of, foresaw this happening, that we saw that this will be, the following week would have been like a consolidation. But although the Thursday downtrend was, kind of surprising for me. But yes, on a very, longer time frame, market is still in a consolidation phase, for me at least.
Right, this is something that we discussed last week. That Fakir said that he was expecting a consolidation for some time before we break that 20k barrier again, and I think the same thought Scalp also had. So till last week, we were not looking for a huge down move, and I don't think we have seen a huge down move as of yet. We are around 300 points down from an all-time high, which is hardly any kind of a down move in a market which is around 20k. So till now, things are going as per it is foreseeable. We expect the rally to maybe start again very soon. On a downside, what do you guys think? How much are we looking at if we have to go? Just a wild guess. Fakir,
I
Scalp.
think if you go to like hourly or dailies, it would be easier for us to do that. But from what I think, we are not breaking 19,500 anytime soon.
So this is the hourly chart. If we zoom it
Yeah,
out a little bit, so this looks more like a flag pattern in the making, right?
yes, yes.
So it's making a kind of flag pattern. So I mean, unless and
I
until,
think last week you had drawn that flag pattern, but now it's looking more obvious now.
yeah, I mean, hopefully it is gets more and more obvious. The only thing is that what I was thinking was that either there can be a double bottom and we could just shoot up. If we make a high from here, we could just shoot up from here. And if that does not happen, then I see a flag pattern. Unless and until we see a very big down move, that is kind of a difficult. What do you guys think?
So it's very hard to trade intraday on flats because, like Thursday, there was a big gap up and then we closed below the Wednesday lows, or say, for example, even Tuesday lows. So, I mean, from intraday perspective, it's very hard to trade when there's a consolidation. So, yes, we need a breakout as soon as possible, either a breakout or a breakdown. However, it would be easier if we have a breakout, because kind of we have a very short trade in that kind of scenario.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday were definitely flat. Even Friday, but Thursday there was a intraday move. It wasn't
Yep.
in the
And
direction.
actually, on when it gapped up on Thursday, I was expecting it to follow on, since the gap up was near the Friday opening. So I thought that we will fill that Thursday Friday gap that we did on last week. But yes, it was surprising for me. Like I said, that we had a clear downtrend from that gap up.
And then again after that, if you zoom into Thursday, uh, the whole day was down, but the ending was kind of bullish, right? Two strong candles. This is a 15-minute chart, so two kind of strong candles. So if we convert it to a half an hour chart, we'll see that there was the last week, the last candle was pretty strong, but unfortunately Friday followed up with a minor gap down and then a flattish market.
One observation could be that I've learned after reading all this chart is when we have such a long downtrend towards the end of the market around 3 o'clock, we see some short covering. So last two candles may be bullish. So even it can also happen at 2:30 time. That's what I noticed. So
So the last two candles do not indicate much if you have a strong trend in one direction, is what you're trying to say.
no, on the downtrend day, towards the end of the day, we see bullish candles. The ones that we are seeing, the two bullish candles. This is hourly rate. So this is 15 minutes. So last 30 minutes.
Yeah, the last 30 minutes were kind of very bullish.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I was expecting this. I mean, the entire week, if you see, the first, I think, since last Friday, the overall trend had been down. So it was like going down in a straight direction, not very steep, but a slow, steady down move was happening. Then on Wednesday, we had a gap up, and though Wednesday was a flat market, this gap up continued on Thursday. So on Thursday, even I had this kind of a view that we'll be moving up slowly, and since we are so very close to 80th, so there is always that kind of a thought in the mind that we'll make a new 80th again, and the bullishness will continue. So that is something that even I had, but the market gave up very early at around, I think, at 9:39. By 9:45 the market gave up and started its downward move. So the same viewpoint that I had in the morning, that the market is going to be bullish, the same kind of viewpoint came back to me again when I saw this last two candles. But like Scalp just mentioned, that after a strong trend in one direction, especially towards the down move, it is very common to see some green candles at the end of the day to show the bullishness. And then we come back to the Friday, which was very flat. What do you guys think about the Friday, and where do you think the next move is going to be towards?
I still feel that we'll see some consolidation because after this much move, market is not going to change direction so quickly, either up or down. So I am expecting some flat market next week as well, and some gap ups, gap downs. But I feel it has to muster all the strength until it breaks out in one direction. So yeah, could be something like that.
Okay, so
So
it's
this would be like next 3 days, probably 3 days.
next 3 days only.
No, I mean the way that you are drawn that line, that flag line. So it looks like next 2 3 days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
It
Be
looks something like this. I mean, if it follows exactly the line, I mean, they generally don't follow exactly the line.
that
Yeah,
would be too good.
yeah. It would be brilliant if they did follow it. So it looks like by 8th of sorry, by 9th of August should be the end of this flatness. But then it could move a little bit up, right? As I was talking in my
Yeah, we never
this,
know.
so we could see this, and then this, and then maybe this, or maybe not. Who knows? Anything else you guys want to add for the last week's movement? I mean, since it is so flattish, there's hardly anything to talk about. Fakir?
I think on Wednesday or Thursday we might see a decisive move, and I am like biased towards upside because, like I said in the last podcast, we have an election coming in 2024. Market is in no mood to stop. Also, we have a consecutive green day in Dow. So, apart from the corporate events that we had, ITC, demerging their hotel business and everything else, there is no real reason for this, down move. Like, of course, no one asks for a reason when there is an up move. But then again, to have such a very, long consolidation, we should have some triggers. And I don't
So
see
far
any
we are not.
triggers. All I see is foolishness.
Yeah, so far we are not seen any strong down moves. It's all looking like consolidation to me.
Yeah, yeah.
All the
So
dips are
I
being
think
bought.
to consolidate it to be in a very tight, range of 300 points is also very unlikely. And I don't see a, downward move. So of course there is only one thing that is left to do, and that is to move upwards, maybe very slowly and very small intraday moves with a lot of gap ups. But yet, I don't think they're going down.
Okay.
Also, like the chart you drew, of course, it won't follow what exactly the line said, but it also kind of signals that we are going up sooner or later. If there is no gap up on Monday, say not a very big gap up on Monday, maybe a move will follow by Thursday or Friday by the end of the week. But uh, I'm biased towards a move.
You are expecting a gap up on Monday. Did
Yeah,
SGX close very
because
positively?
what happens is yes, what happens is that uh, on Friday we saw a kind of end of day buying, some sort of end of day buying, and usually institutions participate by end of the week,
Yep.
and and that biasness follows on the Monday pre-open and the price discovery. So yes, and then there will be a runaway move because of course market wants to drift higher. So if not a big gap up on Monday and then a follow-on move, definitely something is coming in by the Wednesday or Thursday. At least that is how I see it.
Yep. Sounds good to me. Let's see how the follow up is. I mean, I really hope that we don't get a gap up on Monday because I mean, personally, I'm holding a short, but let's see.
I see.
Yep.
I
So,
see.
do you guys want to add anything else to this, or should we move on to the demerger news of Reliance and ITC?
Let's move on.
The Reliance demerger, as you can see, I have the Reliance chart open in front of me. The chart will not make much sense. Reliance was being very bullish much before this whole news of demerger came in or anything. And on the day of the demerger, it went flat. It gapped down and then it went flat. And this 28th of July, and this is the same very day when Nifty had crossed 19,990. So everything else was bullish, but Reliance was bearish because of this news. It could be the very
I
simple.
think it not every part of this gap down can be termed as bearish because there was a 50% share that was JFS, Reliance Geo Limited, Geo Financial.
Right,
So you have kind of division in there. There is another listed stock that is, contributing in that gap down
right. And what I
because
actually also think was that this could be the the scenario that we know call as sell on news. So maybe the whole thing about this demerger was going on at the back, and so there was this buy on rumor thing going on, and we saw this bullish thing. And as soon as the news finally broke out in the market, there was a sell on news, and the gap down. It could be one of the reasons. I don't know. Maybe
yeah.
people were booking, buying for
So
the.
actually there was a price discovery for the new listed entity and Reliance also opened at 10 instead of 950
Okay,
that day.
okay,
Because you have a demerger happening and then there are two different entities and you have to discover the price of both the entities.
right. The time here, if
So
you see, is
you,
10.
yes, so JFS was around 160 or something and the pre-split ratio was something else. So there was positive discovery due to the fact that I mean uh, some of the net part is greater than what it was before Thursday. So
Yeah.
that's why you see a gap down on the chart, but if you will combine the price of the demerged entity and the lines that you see in front of you, it
Mm-hmm.
would be greater than what you have on Thursday close.
Yep.
So kind of that happened. Of course, you have something on Reliance wherein it is, planning to enter the NBFC space, I guess.
Reliance Industries is going to demerge into another stock that will be Geo Financial Services. So Geo Financial Services, they're expecting would get into consumer lending business, and then slowly, slowly they could start into micro lending. These are all just rumors, nothing is confirmed right now. And there is also this thing that BlackRock, an US asset management company, is getting into a tie up with this Geo Financial Services into a 50-50 partnership to create an entity that will be called Geo BlackRock that will be doing asset management in India. Till now, Reliance has stayed away from Reliance Industries specifically has stayed away from this entire business of investments and
I
finances.
think Reliance before split between the two brothers had the finance part that was divested into
Right,
ADAG group.
right, and that shifted to Nippon. That changed,
Nippon,
yeah, that
yes,
changed into Nippon.
yes,
But that was owned by I think Anil Ambani.
yes, yes, ADAG, yes.
So this is Mukesh Ambani's first stepping into the financial services of asset
So
management.
kind of Mukesh is building the old empire that his father created with entering into telecom and now the finance part.
Yeah, definitely a step towards that direction. So let's see how this turns up. So I guess all Reliance Industries holder
Would be
would
interesting. It would be interesting in the payment landscape too, since Reliance has an investment from Facebook and Facebook has a UPI option available on WhatsApp. Not for every user, I guess, but few of the users. So maybe something might happen there too.
Facebook owns WhatsApp, which gives an UPI option to every user in a way.
Okay, I'm not sure. I haven't used that app for like
Okay,
years now, but
decades.
yes,
Yeah,
not
and
decades, but yes.
this could really disrupt this NBFC companies like Bajaj Finance, which is
I saw a very interesting tweet. It says it will not just disrupt the industry, it will disrupt the regulators. So yes, SEBI and RBI will have to, do a lot of accommodation for Mukesh. Sorry.
can be a possibility.
Like, like when Geo entered, you could not trade Spectrum. So like I bought Spectrum, I could not sell it back to say for example Scalp if he wanted to enter into the telecom business. But when Geo wanted to buy uh, spectrum from the earlier enlisted entity Reliance Telecom part, but then the government allowed intra-company spectrum trading. So yes, something lot of accommodation for the new business might come in.
Right. And what do you think? How is this going to affect the markets blue-eyed by Bajaj Finance?
I think Bajaj twins have been consolidating for a while, and maybe people knew why. I was, kind of surprised why the Bajaj twins were not moving. So maybe some people knew that this is coming in. But yes, this will be a big disruption for them. But then again, Reliance is very big and they hardly can concentrate on a very specific line of business. What they end up doing is, they take up a very small share of the market and then I don't think any revolutionary stuff will happen within this space.
Yeah, but then they are
Like you
demerging,
have
so they
the
this
cinema,
the
the
demerger
quality
can
of the streaming and everything.
yeah, but the demerger could mean that they are actually kind of very much looking to get into this
So
very
demerger
with
could
strength.
be due to the fact that of strict regulation within the space.
Okay.
So there are many, regulations which are fined on basis of, I'm not sure about the details and I might be getting it wrong that they can be penalties based on your turnover or profit. So you
Hmm.
won't want your other businesses to be exposed to that kind of penalties or fines. So anything finance would be, kind of a part of a different entity.
Yeah, very much a possibility.
There are strict, guidelines when you are a listed bank. When you are a bank controlled by, regulated by Reserve Bank of India,
Hmm.
or when you are an NBFC regulated by Reserve Bank of India, you cannot have a similar structure like you have for Reliance Industries.
Yeah. Scalp, anything you want to put in?
No, nothing actually. I don't follow the news, so I will not be much of help.
Would you be interested in taking loan from Geo Financial Services?
Or definitely, if they provide a good interest rate, why not?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Generally,
They will
NBFCs
have
are
to
not
do.
known
They
to
will have
provide.
to. They will have to be competitive. Definitely, because all other players are already established in this being a new, so they'll have to. And I'm hoping to get good good interest rates. Let's see.
And Geo credit cards.
Yeah,
Yep. So, should we move on to the ITC demerger now?
sure.
Okay.
I think everyone knows that it was in the world and they wanted to demerge the hotel part of their business. And it was all stuck due to the pandemic hitting, and then the hotel business were not doing good for a while. Since we are past that, we see that they have finally decided to demerge and kind of expected by the market given the moves we saw. ITC going from 200 to 400, and it is the best performing stock of Nifty in past 12 months. So yes, this was expected, but what was unexpected was ITC choosing to retain 40% of the portion of the new listed entity. So demerged entity, not listed yet, but yes. So that was kind of not expected by the market, and that's why we saw also kind of sell off new thing. But yes,
So, but I always felt that if ITC would ever demerge, it will demerge into the cigarette business. But it was because snacks and hotels go together. But this was kind of surprising to see it demerging the hotel business.
I
And
think
ITC has
FMCG is cigarettes and everything else, and then there is hotels.
right, that's true. And the news is that the new ITC hotel stocks are going to be listed at around 15 to 20 rupees per share. And ITC,
Uh,
like you said, will still be holding 40% stake in the hotel business. So, I mean, if you just continue to hold ITC and you do not invest in the hotel stocks, you still have 40% share of the hotel stocks.
I think you will get allotted the shares of the demerged entity because that is coming out of ITC any which way. But yes, there will be a direct exposure and then there will be indirect exposure through ITC like you have right now. 100% of the ITC hotel you own through ITC, but then you will own 40% through ITC and then the remaining through your direct holdings that you have in the listed entity.
Do you have any kind of a news on the date that the stock is going to be listed in the market?
No.
Nope.
But I follow the news just very on a macro level, not very into the data.
Okay. So that's it. That's into the IT demerger. Anything else you guys will like to add before we end up this show?
Ho- Hopefully we see breakout on Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay. Hopefully not on Monday. Yeah. Anything from you, Scalp?
I know we're good. This was good discussion.
Okay, I think then that is it for this week. And stay tuned, guys, for next week's markets last week. And please do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you like our content and like and share us so that we can reach other people. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye. Fakir and Scalp.
Bye.
Bye bye.